I think the overall performance was actually good until they got to the final third. They started off really well, they got into good areas, but they just don't have that cutting edge. They need a striker, they're desperate for a striker, and they played Mainu there today as a false nine. It worked for about 10 minutes, but then Crystal Palace sorted it out. They had Lerma and Hughes in there, cutting out them passing lanes, which obviously nullified his threat. Again, they were doubling up on Diallo, their danger man. Fernandes didn't really have a say in the game. Fair play to Crystal Palace. They were organised, determined, patient, but then they broke really fast. Sarr was a problem all day, and Mateta got 2 goals. Again, handful, but a very, very good player.
The decision to play Kobbie Mainoo then as a false nine, to not start with either Højlund or Xerxes, which I think is the first time that Ruben Amorim has chosen to do that. Do you get the sense that he is still searching for his best 11, still searching for the best solution for this season for Manchester United?
100%. I said, before the game even started, I feel like all of these players are on trial. The only players that I see in this squad at the moment that he actually likes and relies on is Amad Diallo, Bruno Fernandes and Ugarte. They're the only players that he looks at, in my opinion, and says, these players I want in my future squad. He said in the beginning it's going to be painful, it's not going to be nice. I'm trying out players in new positions. Mainoo, again, he's never played, I don't know, but he's never played as a striker, definitely in his professional career. And then he's playing there today. He's done his best, but he's just not, he don't have that striker's instinct to be in there when the ball's coming across the box to get those tap-ins. Obviously, Man United need that desperately. They've got another injury. Martinez, it looks like a really bad one. He came off the pitch crying. There's just so much. It's funny because I say there's so much good in today's game, but then there's a lot of bad as well. And the bad is that they've had 67% possession. They've had 18 shots. They've had 2 shots on target, 11 corners. You would expect with those kind of numbers, there should be goals. And there just wasn't. There's just no cutting edge. And then when you look at Crystal Palace, they're the opposite. Well drilled. They were happy for Man United to have the ball, but then they broke and they was clinical.
Well, I mean, that's the irony, isn't it, that we're talking about Manchester United lacking a focal point and a recognised number 9. There's a guy on the other side who scored twice today, taking his tally to the season to 10 in Jean-Philippe Mateta, who would be, and I'm not trying to sell him to Manchester United, but that sort of player with the record he's had, particularly since Oliver Glasner came in at Crystal Palace, is exceptional, isn't it?
Yeah, I was saying before the game started, I spoke to Mark Bright, who works at Crystal Palace, and he said that Mateta is one of their most important players, I think, alongside Eze. But the way Crystal Palace play, they need someone like that up front, gets hold of the ball. He can run in behind as well. He's a very good finisher. And today, he showed all his attributes. They had Sarr again, who's, running in behind. He runs off Mateta really well, and then Eze come on to do the same thing right at the end there. But ultimately, Crystal Palace are a well-drilled side. They know what they're good at. They know they're not going to outplay other teams, especially the likes of Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea's. But they're difficult to break down, and then they're clinical on the break.
What do Manchester United do then, and aware that they've only got about 33 hours to do anything, but do you just, if you're Ruben Amorim, do you continue this carousel of trying different things, whether it's Kobbie Mainoo in that position, whether it's one of your 2 recognised centre forwards every week? You could play potentially Bruno Fernandes as a false 9 if you wanted to, or are you now going to this whole swathe of people that are looking after football operations at Manchester United and saying, I need someone else before tomorrow?